Thousands of students from coast to coast and around the world marched for their lives today.
Now they marched for change and demanded stricter gun laws. Now the high school survivors of the Marjory Stoneman Douglas massacre in Parkland are leading this movement.
Here is who they are demanding change for: the 14 students and 3 Stoneman Douglas staff members who were gunned down on Valentine's Day by a former student. They want them to be the last lost to gun violence.
Now live team coverage today of the marches from South Florida to Washington, D.C. We begin with our Alex Hagan, who is in the Stoneman Douglas survivors. And what's the latest, Alex?
Well, John and Tanya, you can see here behind me, I'm on Pennsylvania Avenue. It's pretty much empty at this point. Of course, that wasn't the case earlier today in our nation's capital. Now, estimates before this march were right around 500,000 people, but it was clear during my experience during this march that that total number is likely to be much higher than that. Just a huge support for the students at Stoneman Douglas. The day begins
being together
with the Stoneman Douglas family in this hotel ballroom.
We're there to support a cause.
Sid Fisher, a junior, made this sign this morning.
There are 17 votes. You never know. They probably could have made a change.
Making signs, the pre-march task.
Who are we?
MSD! Then to the streets
MSD!
to march.
MSD strong!
On Pennsylvania Avenue.
It's crazy, like I never thought we would be here.
Kayla Schaefer is a junior at Douglas.
Obviously guns are the problem and people are the problem.
Her best friend Hannah with her.
I knew Helena Ramsey. She was a brilliant young lady.
They march for their friends.
This is the mourning process.
As a family.
You see all the good. Everything we're doing right now is for the victims.
Corinne Small is a senior at Douglas. She marched for her 2 classmates she lost, Meadow and Helena.
No child should be afraid of going to school, and no parent should ever fear of seeing their child for the last time.
The message is here: never again. Enough is enough. Pushing for stricter gun control measures. For them, Florida's new laws are not enough. Liz O'Connor is a college professor in Maryland. She marched in today's rally in Washington.
Because all students are my students.
It needs to stop.
Stoneman Douglas students led the charge, with hundreds of thousands behind them on the streets of Washington, D.C.
We're all coming together. We're not alone.
So I've been following this student movement over the last month when they went to Tallahassee and meeting with state lawmakers and making their voices heard over that last month. And this is all leading up to this march here in Washington, D.C. But this is not the end for these students. Many of the Douglas students I spoke with today, they're going to continue to push forward with this movement. Reporting live in Washington, D.C., Alex Hagan, WPTV, News Channel 5.